and welcome to Woofles Crochet, and today I'm going to be showing you how to attach Woofles' tail. So what we're going to do is decide whereabouts we want the tail, and I just have a look to see what looks best, and I've worked out that the tail looks good when you attach it at row 9 to 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's row 9, counting up from the bottom there. And I'm going to attach the bottom of the tail at row 9, and it goes up to about row 13. And just take your time and make sure you're happy with the placement of the tail. And then what we're going to do is get some pins. So what we're going to need is our scissors, we're going to need some pins, and we need a darning needle. Okay, so instead of pinning the tail to the body, what I like to do is actually put the pins around where I want the tail to go. So around the edge, I just mark it with the pins. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pins around the edge of the tail to mark where the tail's going to go. I'll put one there. Put one about there. All around the edge, so that we know where we're going to be sewing. And the top is about there. And once you're happy with how your tail looks, you can see you've got your pin placement. I'm not quite happy with that. I think that looks a little bit too far over to the right. So I'm just going to change that a little bit. I think I actually want it more. No, that's actually not bad. I think just move the pins a little bit like this. The top's more there. Okay, so we've marked. Oh, that doesn't look very good, does it? Hold on. It is a bit fiddly. Too many pins there. Let's try that one there. Might just take you a few tries till you're happy with it. That's looking more like the shape of the tail now. Okay, so we thread our yarn. So we've got the tail on the needle there, and what you do is line your tail back up with those pins, and we're going to start. We want with the needle coming up where this pin is, so we'll just start there. We want to come back up where this needle is, so we're going to go about a stitch over from the pin, and we're going to come up where that pin is. I'm going to take that pin out now, and then we're going to go up through the tail. So what we're doing is going through this stitch, so from the inside out. So there's your V stitch, there's your crochet stitch. We go up through that, and then what we do is we go back down through the stitch that we've just come up from. So we've just come up from this stitch, and all we do is we work our way towards the pin. So the next pin is this one, and we're just going to go in a straight line towards that pin, like that, and then through the next stitch on the tail, And really this is all it is. We're going to find where we just came back up through the stitch, it's that one, and then heading towards this pin, down and up through the stitch like that. We can now take that pin out, through the next stitch. Hopefully you can see this. We're going through both those loops, through both of them. Give that a little pull. We're now going to work towards our next pin. So down through the stitch we've just come through and back up one stitch along towards that pin, like that. Through the next stitch on the tail, back down through the stitch we've just come through, over one stitch, making our way towards that pin. Take that pin out now, and you just carry on doing that through the next stitch on the tail, down through the one you've just come through. We're heading towards our next pin now, and we're going down and over a stitch, and you carry on doing that until you've got all your stitches done. So I'm going to leave you there, and I'll meet you once we're nearly finished attaching the tail. Okay, so we're getting there. I'm working towards my last pin now. Might get a little bit of stuffing come out when you do this, but we can sort that once we're finished and just cut those little bits off. This is me working towards that pin. And pin out now. Okay, we're getting there. I'm just going to work. There's where our first stitch where we first went in. So to finish, I've got no pins left. I've got a stitch to do there. Back in and over towards that first stitch. And to finish off, what I like to do is go down through that same stitch. So I've just come out of the stitch. I'm going to go back in through that stitch, and I'm going to come out somewhere else on the body, just like we did when we were finishing off the head. And what we were doing is basically getting the yarn tangled in with the stuffing. So when we go from one side to the other, it gets all tangled inside, which just helps to secure it. And I like to do that a few times. Back in, we're going back in through the same stitch we've just come out of to keep it looking really nice and neat, so that you're not seeing these stitches in the body. We don't want to see them. We want to keep it nice and neat. And then after doing that a few times, you then cut your yarn. So we're happy with that. We've fastened that off. I'm going to cut that. Just give it a little squeeze, and you shouldn't be able to see any of that now. There's a wee bit of stuffing that I'm going to fix. It's just a tiny little bit, and if you just snip that with the scissors a little bit and tidy that up. We'll tidy that up. So there you've got your tail, and you can see that it's really nice and neat. It's in a nice position, And that's the technique that I tend to use when I've got an open piece and I want to attach that open piece to a closed piece. I tend to use the pins and just follow those pins around, and it's just easier than pinning the tail on and then having to work like that. So that's how you do that, and thank you very much. And if you liked this video, if you found it helpful, then please give it a thumbs up. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.